At this point, there will be very few people who haven't heard of it.
Heard about it. I'm not exactly sure what it really is.
Ozempic is originally supposed to be for diabetes. These days, it has become a fashion. I have no idea about it.
Generally, the Bollywood industry is using it to get a chiseled body.
From boardrooms to bridal parties, Ozempic and Mounjaro are everywhere. Once, it was Metformin holding the crown. Now, it's the weight loss shots stealing the spotlight. Side effects? Sure, but headlines? Bigger. Weddings, red carpets, even everyday life. Everyone's talking about the new miracle meds. Are they the future or just the fad?
For decades, Metformin has been the backbone of diabetes treatment. Affordable, trusted, and taken by millions of Indians every single day. But suddenly, there's a new buzz in diabetes scare. Weekly injections like Ozempic and Mounjaro are being called game changers, promising better sugar control, dramatic weight loss, and even heart protection. Now, Metformin tablet versus the injection pen. So naturally, patients are asking, is the old pill outdated? Are injections really better? And if so, better for whom? And most importantly, at what cost? Now, this debate matters because India is the diabetes capital of the world, and treatment choices today affect millions of lives, long-term health, as well as household finances. Diabetes is no longer a lifestyle disease of the wealthy or the urban. It is now one of India's biggest public health challenges. Let's look at the rising numbers. According to the Indian Council of Medical Research, more than 11% of Indian adults have diabetes. That's over 100 million people. Another 15% are pre-diabetic, at high risk of developing the disease. Diabetes is no longer just urban. While cities still report higher rates, rural India is catching up rapidly, driven by diet changes, inactivity, and lack of early diagnosis. What makes diabetes especially dangerous is that nearly 4 in 10 Indians with diabetes do not even know if they have it. Now that means people are often diagnosed after complications begin. Heart disease, kidney failure, vision loss, even amputations. And this is just not about sugar. Diabetes increases the risk of heart attacks, strokes, liver infections, depression, and reduces life expectancy if poorly controlled. Metformin is still the first-line drug for type 2 diabetes in India as per ICMR and RSSDI guidelines because its effective sugar control, long safety record, low cost, minimal risk of hypoglycemia. Now let's meet Mr. Sudeep Dasgupta, who has been taking Metformin for decades now.
Well, 20 years ago, I had a heart attack. At that time, everything was okay. Then I was in regular contact with cardiologist for regular checkup. About 10 years ago, it was diagnosed that I am having diabetes. So since then, I have been on medicine and not much has been going through my mind except that why me? Because I don't have a family history, neither I am very fond of sweets. So I again consulted my doctor. He advised me some change in my health schedule, working schedule, food schedule, some workups. Together with the metformin medicine which was given, doses were increased. And now today I can say, yes, even at this age of 72, I am quite okay with my sugar levels.
But diabetes treatment itself is changing, and that's where the debate begins. Metformin versus injectables. Which drug actually works for better? Who needs what? And what are the real downsides? On NDTV Lifeline, joining me, the doc on call today is Dr. Anoop Misra. He's the Executive Chairman of Fortis CDOC Hospital of Diabetes. Thank you so much, Dr. Misra, for joining us today. To begin with, I want to ask you, for decades, when we talk about metformin, it has been the first line of diabetes treatment. Why are we seeing the strong shift towards injectables now?
I would say a strong shift. I would say shift towards injectable in some cases, but metformin remains the cornerstone of our management. If you look at, if you sit in our OPD, you see that almost 90% of the people are on metformin, and only 10 to 15% people are on injectable. So that is the shift. So it's not many a times not even a shift at all. It is combination of these two drugs that we give, because metformin is the time-tested drug, and either tirzepatide or semaglutide, these are the new drugs with multiple benefits. So we combine the two drugs and have more benefits.
Even when we talk about guidelines, whether it's in India, whether it's in global, we say diabetes treatment should be more individualized. Are we seeing that when it comes to injectables? Who should be really taking, whether it's your Mounjaro, Ozempic?
Right.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. I mean, it has to be individualized, because a 20-year-old guy with a weight of 110 is different from a 80-year-old guy with a weight of 65 kg. These are two different individuals, and approaches are totally different in both. Now, as far as these injectables are concerned, the weight loss drugs are concerned, the guidelines are, if you look at person with diabetes and obesity, then BMI is kg per meter square. Ratio of weight in kg by height in meter square. BMI of more than 27 if person has diabetes, and more than 30 if person doesn't have diabetes, just obesity alone. Then they are licensed for use. Why is so? Because most of the studies have used these guidelines. So this is one.
Okay.
Number two, as far as the Indians are concerned, perhaps we start with diabetes at a lower weight, lower BMI. So worldwide, any of the definitions of obesity start 2.5 points lower. For example, 27 should be 25, 30 should be 27.5. So perhaps in Indians it should start with a lower BMI. But also, if a person has heart problem, heart attack, previous heart attack, or heart operation, or kidney problem, or liver problem, and even if BMI is lesser than that, then we might choose these drugs.
Since our conversation is about metformin versus the injectables, which is Mounjaro and Ozempic, tell us, how do they both work differently inside the body? Metformin versus the injectables.
Metformin acts predominantly on the liver and a particular enzyme of the liver, and decreases the output of glucose from the liver. It also acts on the intestine to improve the bacterial load. There are some bacteria which are beneficial to the body, and that's what it does. It also has cellular action to decrease aging, decrease cancer cells. These are additional ways it acts.
I want you and our viewers to quickly have a look at one of the patients we met, Pooja, and how her journey with Mounjaro has been. So let's take a look.
I have a thyroid problem for the last 22 years, and my weight increase got aggravated because of the menopause. And every time I stood on the weighing scale, it just depressed me, because it just showed an upward trend. And I started realizing that as I was growing older, I started getting swelling in my feet. My blood pressure started increasing, I got a cholesterol problem, and I said, this way it's going to be difficult. So then my husband read on Mounjaro, and we visited a couple of places to understand more about it. Since it's a relatively new drug, we had limited information. Then I happened to come across Zoe, this wellness clinic on Instagram, and I connected with Dr. Manisha. In 7 months, As on today, I have lost 15.2 kgs of weight. I had begun with a weight of 98.5 kgs when I started this treatment. I had very bad loose motions to begin with. When I started with the minimum dose, which was 2.5 mg. My skin is better, I feel better, my clothes are okay. My clothes have become loose. Everybody now tells me that now get a new wardrobe. I said, okay, I still am in the process of losing a little more weight, and once I know that I have stabilized, then I will.
So Dr. Misra, we just saw like Pooja shared her journey with Mounjaro, right? Her BP medication has been stopped, cholesterol medicine has been, reduced by 50%. While obviously weight loss is often seen as the biggest benefit, we were talking about it as well, medically speaking, how important is weight reduction in managing diabetes?
Those who are obese, weight reduction is the key point. I would say the most important point. But not all patients of diabetes are obese. This is the particular problem in India. Say 80% or 70% are obese, 30% are non-obese diabetic. There we do not want to reduce weight. So there Mounjaro is not applicable. Rest 70%, if somebody can tolerate it, somebody doesn't have contraindication, then this becomes number one drug.
Perfect. So last message you would like to give our viewers, if they are planning or wanting to take injectables, what should they remember and keep in mind?
The first thing is that these are not simple drugs. These are complicated drugs, very powerful drugs. You have to understand how they work, what are the side effects, and what are the dosing escalation of these drugs. So you have to have an initial conversation with your physician, and then subsequently frequent conversation again once we escalate the dose. The second thing is that one has to understand that they have to be given long term. In people with simple obesity without diabetes, we have to achieve target weight loss. So 10 kg, 15 kg, 20 kg, whenever we achieve that, we start tapering out these doses. In people with diabetes and obesity, possibly longer, because we have to control diabetes very well, and once we control these diabetes, other drugs, requirement for other drugs comes down. And number three, that in people with heart disease or kidney disease, possibly longer, sometimes for the whole life. So long-term commitment to these drugs, and accordingly cost consideration must be thought of, and this must also be known that once we stop the drug, there is always possibility of weight regain, and for which a serious conversation with your physician is required right in the beginning and once you are stopping the drug.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Misra, for speaking with us, coming on NDTV Lifeline. Well, viewers, don't go away because we have doctor's verdict at the other side with our doc on call, Dr. Misra. So stay tuned.
I don't know necessarily whether they work better or not, but I do think they're easier to use.
Definitely injections would work better because they are injected into your veins and obviously they are assimilated faster.
That has to be taken care with caution with a physician recommendation.
Ma'am, I will not believe in this faster tablets and injection.
I believe in Ayurvedic treatment.
दवाई इंसुलिन इंजेक्शन तो बहुत ज़्यादा होता चलेगा.
I suppose if your sugar levels are in control, you technically get out of the diabetes range.
Trick question.
My answer is no.
It's a lifelong disease.
ये एक लॉन्गर प्रॉब्लम है, बट इसको लाइफ स्टाइल के साथ आप मैनेज करोगे तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है इसे.
Welcome back. You're watching NDTV Lifeline with me, Ambika. Now let's look at the doctor's verdict and clarify some myths with our doc on call, Dr. Misra. Myth 1. Injectables guarantee faster results.
See, in those people who can follow a very low calorie diet, that is the fastest way to lose weight. However, not many people can follow that. In such cases, people do not do exercise or diet, then injectable weight loss drugs are the fastest way to lose weight.
Myth 2. Metformin is outdated.
No way. Metformin is the most dependable of the drugs because we have been using it for last 40 years. And it is best tested and we know all the side effects. So good track record and still #1 drug in our patient dealing. It remains #1 drug.
Myth 3, injectables are only for weight loss.
No, again a major myth. Injectable produce weight loss, but in addition decrease the blood sugar. They also decrease fat in the various areas of the body like liver and impact heart health in a better manner. Also decrease dysfunction of the kidney, and it may have more effects like effects on the joint and the brain also, the multiple effect of these injectable weight loss, so-called weight loss drugs.
Myth 4, diabetes is only about sugar.
Not at all. In fact, diabetes is about the sugar, the refined carbohydrate, as far as diet is concerned, saturated fat, less of fiber intake, and so on as far as diet is concerned. And when you talk about its effect on the body, then besides sugar, it can affect the liver, kidneys, heart, it can affect eyes, and it can affect nerves, foot. So almost every organ of the body can be affected by diabetes.
Myth 5, if your HbA1c is below 6.5%, you don't have a diabetes problem.
So this is a very interesting myth, and I would like to clarify here that HbA1c is not used for diagnosis of diabetes. It is the oral glucose tolerance test which is the gold standard. What is oral glucose tolerance test? A fasting blood sugar, and you take 75 gram glucose and do another blood sugar 2 hours later. If these are high, then you are diabetic. HbA1c is only an additional test, and it can be impacted by various conditions in the body, so it can be fallacious. So don't judge your diabetes on HbA1c, judge on oral glucose tolerance.
Diabetes care today is no longer just about pills or injections. It's about smarter tools that help people understand their bodies better and make more informed choices. Today, our lifeline hacks are technologies that are changing how diabetes is monitored and managed. The insulin pump. An insulin pump delivers small steady doses of insulin throughout the day, closely mimicking how the body works. Now for people who need frequent insulin, pumps can reduce multiple daily injections and offer better flexibility around meals and activity. Our next lifeline hack is smart insulin pens, which look like regular pens, but they do much more. They record dose timing, track how much insulin was taken, and even remind users if a dose is missed, helping reduce errors and over or underdosing. Well, the third hack is the continuous glucose monitor, CGM. Now, the CGM tracks blood sugar round the clock, showing trends instead of just single readings. It helps users see how food, stress, exercise, and sleep affect glucose, often before levels become dangerously high or low.
Hi, I'm Ruhi Rajput, a clinical nutritionist, and we all know that methi dana soaked water is very helpful in diabetes. But today I'm going to give you 3 simple hacks of soaked water that can help you in managing your blood sugar levels and control diabetes. So number 1 here is bhindi soaked water. You have to soak the bhindi, slice them and soak it overnight, and this will create a certain kind of gel. This gel actually binds your intestine and it slowly releases sugar from the carbohydrate you eat, so you can have it first thing in the morning and it will not give overdose of insulin in your body. So drink the bhindi soaked water with the gel, and you can leave the bhindi. It's not required. Here we all mostly know jamun. So this is like a jamun powder soaked water. Jamun has excellent capability in terms of controlling your blood sugar level because it is rich in antioxidant, and you can have it like with your breakfast, lunch, dinner, smoothies, because then it again will release sugar very slowly in your body. And the last one is Pathimagham water. Now Pathimagham, once it is soaked overnight, it releases this red color. This red color is the real thing. So when you drink this water, this is super rich in antioxidant. It reduces inflammation. It helps in cleansing and detoxifying your liver. Now liver is very important in diabetes because the glycogen which gets processed from your liver or the enzymes which are getting released to manage insulin is taken care by liver. So therefore, it can handle your liver well, in turn manage your sugar level. And all these are very easily available in the market. You can just order it online or buy from anywhere.
Now, these tools don't replace medical advice, but they do empower patients with better information. But before we close, here's what actually helps people stay in control of diabetes, regardless of which drug they are on. First, test early, not late, because HbA1c tracks sugar, not early risk. Second, look beyond glucose. Diabetes quietly affects the heart, kidneys, eyes, and the nerves. That's why at least once a year, tests beyond sugar matter. Cholesterol, kidney function, blood pressure, and eye checks. And third is, lifestyle still changes outcomes. No medicine works in isolation. So regular movement, better sleep, stress control, and small weight loss. Even 5% can move sugar control, reduce doses, and sometimes delay stronger medicines. Now, diabetes is a lifelong companion for millions of Indians. This isn't a medical choice, it's a life choice. The goal isn't to chase miracle drugs, but to live well, longer, and without fear. And that begins with informed decisions, not hype, and with choosing what truly works for you.